Hello, everyone. Welcome to TV Literate, the podcast that unapologetically enjoys trashy TV. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Megan.
And we're back, y'all.
We're back. It's been a minute.
Yeah, about a month.
It's been a month. It's been a rough month, I'll say that much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we won't get too much into the details, at least not right now. Honestly,
No.
It'll probably come up at some point just based off of the things that we talk about on this podcast. But needless to say, something not very cool happened to me like a month ago. And I just needed a minute to, just deal with that. Yeah.
Recuperate.
But we appreciate your patience. We apologize. It happened kind of out of the blue, but that's life for you.
Yeah,
so
shit happens.
It does. It happens.
But we're here.
We're here, and let's see. We're this is kind of going to be a different show of sorts. We're not going to talk about any episodes in particular. We're going to kind of just catch up. We got a couple of big news stories, mostly just one big news story, and a couple of other little news stories to talk about. So we're going to do that this week. Before we get into that, have you been watching anything cool, Jillian, that you want to talk about?
I'm still just watching Survivor.
Girl, same.
I am now addicted. I blame you fully because I had never given Survivor a chance, and now I can't stop watching it.
I accept that, and I'm so proud of myself. You and Chris are now the second people that I've turned on to Survivor. My husband, Kyler, being the first.
Hell yeah!
And I have a friend who the other day was like reading something about the most recent season of Survivor, and she said to me, I might have to get into Survivor now. And I said, be careful what you wish for, but I am your guide if you need that.
I know. I can always text you day or night, just like, oh my God, what is this person doing? And you're like, oh my God, I know.
I know. It's bad. Yeah, I have to say, over the last month, I've needed a lot of comfort, and the thing I find most comforting in the world apparently is Jeff Probst.
Yeah, Jeff fucking Probst. Who knew?
Something about him, man. But I've already watched all of the seasons, but I've been rewatching a lot of the seasons and really, really getting into them. I've been like listening to podcasts about it too. I've been fully immersed. It's been a whole thing.
You're learning new facts. You're gonna.
I am
the queen of Survivor.
It's true. It's bad, but hey, you know what? It's a good distraction. So and it could be worse. It could be worse.
Yeah, and everyone, Jeff Probst is wholesome.
He is.
Everyone on the show is usually wholesome, and if they're not, they usually get got.
They do usually get got. Though I will warn you. So you're in season 4, right? You're watching Marquesas. Okay, so season 5 is probably one of my least favorite seasons, and it's mostly because everyone on there is just awful. So just a warning to you. And it's even Jeff Probst's like least favorite season. So nice. I mean, watch it, obviously. It's Survivor, but just go in knowing that there are some pretty unlikable people in that season.
That's fair. I like it. I mean, to be fair, the first few seasons have been so rough because we started like in the middle, and I was like, this will be a good idea because it's kind of like found its footing. It's like a better TV show than it was. And man, first 4 seasons are rough.
It's very jarring also, just to go back, and Survivor's such an interesting like time capsule on society. The things that are being talked about at camp are like really cringy, and it's bad, but it does make me feel a little bit better about like how far we've come. I mean, I know we still have a lot of work to do, but like, at least
it's not like just super cool to be homophobic on TV all the time.
Exactly. But one last thing about Survivor, at least for me, is that Survivor 42, which has been airing, and I mentioned it the last couple of episodes, but Survivor 42 has given me like a reason to live every week. Yeah. I've had something to look forward to, and it's been a rough couple of weeks, so like I appreciated that. And it was such an incredible season, just like all the way through, across the board, incredible. And I'm so pleased with season 42, and I cannot wait for you to watch it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, we're officially sucked into the cycle now because the other day I was like, how do you like watching these seasons after we've watched, the more modern, better seasons? I was like, they're not great, but now that I know everybody, like now we're gonna have to watch through all of them again because now we know people from the early seasons.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's like you go back and you watch all those, and then you watch like some of like the heroes versus villains or like the Micronesia, the ones that are the returnee cast, and it's so much better watching them having watched their
Yeah.
previous game too. Oh my god, I love Survivor. I gotta stop now because I could just keep going for the rest of the show, and I know that's not why you guys are here. So
The only other thing that I would recommend that I have done in the past 4 weeks is okay, it's a couple things. So they're books.
hell yeah,
I've been listening to a
books.
lot of books. I've been doing a lot of audiobooks. But
Nice.
Becky Chambers has written a series called the Wayfarer series, and they're all just like really fucking hopeful, and they kind of feel like Firefly feels, but like without Joss Whedon ickiness.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, happy space time. Like the future is better, but there's still problems. So it's not perfect, but it's still better than what we have. And that's like 4 books of that. And it's
That's
very
nice.
soothing content.
That is nice. Yeah.
And then the other one is this book called The Master of Gin by P. Djeli Clark.
Clark.
Clark. And it's basically like, imagine if the movie The Mummy from 1999 became a book about a murder.
Okay. Wow. Wow. All right. I
Yeah.
like that. I like those vibes.
It's real fun. And like the main character is a disabled Egyptian woman, and like they talk about her cane and her assistive devices all the time, but not like as a special thing. They're like, oh, you
Right.
know, she hit this man with her cane or whatever. So it's
Hell
like very
yeah.
cool to see like just
Love
like
that.
mellow disabled representation.
Rep. Yeah, that's nice. That's awesome. Cool. Well, thanks for the recommendation. I've been reading a little bit more lately. It's been trying to dip my toe in it. For some reason, it's been rough reading
Yeah.
the last couple of years. I don't know. I think it's just the chaos of everything. It's been hard.
Pandemic brain.
Yeah. Don't work right.
No.
So, but yeah. So that's basically what I've been up to is Survivor the past
Yeah.
couple of weeks. But what else is new? You know,
Survivor.
Survivor.
I did see that there's a new season of Bling Empire that came out, which I'm gonna
Ooh.
have to watch.
Nice.
And oh my god, the new season of Selling Sunset did drop this past month, and I know you haven't
Nice.
watched it, but now
I
we're on
haven't.
season 5. It's a complete mess. Everyone's mad at everybody else. People have left. I don't know. It's so good. So if
Hell
you need some
yes.
drama,
That sounds like a good place to go for the
Yeah.
for the drama.
oh yeah, it's great because you're like, you guys are all really really rich, and like nothing bad is gonna happen to any of you. So like I can feel fine
Right. Yeah,
at your
exactly.
light misery.
Light misery, you know.
Yeah, not like big misery, just light misery, because you know, misery of having shitty drama at the office.
Yeah, we've all been there. We've
Yeah.
all been there.
Oh yeah.
All right. So like I said, today's going to be kind of a news catch up day. I know we were in the middle of a Bates season when we
Mhm.
left, and we will obviously continue that and finish that out. And also I know that Welcome to Plathville just started again, and
Mhm.
we will also have an episode on that. We like to kind of let a couple episodes build up and then do an episode over those. So that will be coming soon too. But for today, should we just go into it? Should we
Let's
start
just
with
do
the big
it. Let's
just
just
start.
Rip off the Band-Aid.
Joshua Duggar has been sentenced to 151 months, about 12 and a half years in prison.
Ugh, it's so good because none of the time he served gets to count.
Yes, that is good. I guess we could start with kind of like initial reactions, and I don't know. It's hard because I don't think there's is there an appropriate, punishment or rehabilitation for somebody like this? I don't know.
Mhm.
But I will say I kind of had in my mind, I just don't have a very high like regard for like the justice system. Like I don't
Yes.
think, I don't really.
Yeah, I don't think that he's going to get rehabilitated and like stop offending in 12 years because we're not focusing on any of that. Like the only reason that may happen is because people in jail also hate pedophiles, and so he may
Right.
just literally get it beat out of him, which I don't think is the way forward.
Yeah.
But I can't fault anyone wanting to beat the shit out of Josh Duggar.
No,
to be fair.
I can't at all. That seems justified to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess 12 and a half years, like it was more than I had thought he was going to get,
Mhm.
just because, like I said, I don't have a lot of hope in that.
Yeah, especially Arkansas.
Yeah. Like I was like thinking we'd probably be lucky if he got like 10 years. And
Mhm.
so
I think 12 and a half is pretty good because most of his kids get older, so
yeah,
he can't
true.
hurt them, and they have the words to say.
Mm-hmm. And so in addition to the 12 and a half years, once he gets out, he has 20 years of probation. And there's lots of conditions, including he can't be around children without supervision. He cannot possess pornography of any kind, not just child pornography. He cannot possess pornography of any kind. And obviously, he cannot possess child pornography. Nobody can.
Yeah.
That's illegal. And he cannot have access to the internet without express permission from his probation officer.
I know you have to, that says the defendant shall not possess, use, or have access to a computer or any other electronic device that has internet or photograph storage capabilities without prior advance notice. So like you have to be like, hey, can I use my sister's cell phone?
Yeah, that's pretty bad. I mean, it's good. Like it makes sense, but like that sucks for him.
Yeah.
And he obviously has to register as a sex offender, so it's just it is nice, to have some type of, because remember, this is the first time that Josh Duggar has ever been
like
held accountable for what he's done, not just with the child pornography, but his past molestations that was brought up in court, like at least, which I think definitely like probably played a factor. I think in the sentencing, he said like while you haven't had, like, you don't have a previous record, like you have literally sexually abused a child before, the same age as you were viewing. Things have not changed. Like this is not this is a pattern. This isn't just
he has not learned his lesson. It is something. It's not like, oops, I accidentally got sent CSAM materials while I was torrenting a movie. No.
Right. No, it's definitely not that. Before the judge gave his sentencing, like each side was allowed to give their like argument for, obviously he's already been convicted, but for like the sentencing.
Yeah, it's like a point scale that they argue for at this point. So like how many years and what level each offense is, etc.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, there's like enhancement like for the offense involved a computer, and then like a 4-level enhancement for the total number of images he had. So it kind of all
that I really wanted to like yell about, because I watched live while it was happening. Like whenever anyone would come out and give us more information, I'd be like, oh, but like I think that one is the fucking nitpickiest, because they're like, oh no, he only had 590 bad images and the bar is 600. And it's like, well, I think there's like a spirit of the law there that you can round up 10.
Yeah, yeah. Especially when you're like, it's 10 to 600. Like that's, that's, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, you have 10 and there's like 20 is the limit.
Yeah,
no,
exactly. Exactly.
This is already way too many photos of bad things.
But yeah, one of the like enhancements was because of his pattern of activity, aka it's not something that just came out of the blue. It's been something that's been going on since he was a literal teenager. Of course, the prosecutor continues and describes the type of material that he was looking at and how particularly horrendous it was. So that's awful to think about. And
his lawyers argued, well, he wasn't the one doing the victimizing because it was just a video.
Yeah.
Which absolutely the fuck not.
Yeah, no. I mean, clear, like, yeah, but like that doesn't matter. It does not matter at all. Again, the prosecutor really was just harping on that the most concerning part was that this was something that's been a pattern in his life, and that, Josh was not a child himself when he first committed his horrible acts. He was a teenager. He knew better. Like, it wasn't like a child offending on another child. He was well above the ages of his victims, and he knew better.
Yes.
And I guess the other side, I don't even know what they were trying to argue. They were just basically saying that he was a celebrity and like it was just wanting to prosecute him for like more than he should, is like he shouldn't have to go through that because you're just holding it against him that he's famous.
You're making an example of a famous person. It's like, well, he's mostly famous because of his indiscretions and his illegal behavior.
It is very true. Yeah, that is the truth. So yeah, not really a great argument in my opinion. And of course they talk about they had a bunch of letters, including Michelle wrote a letter
with
like to the judge
over the I in her name.
Yes,
Michelle.
Beautiful. Kind of just talking about how much of a great person Josh was. And I believe the quote that the judge said in response to this was that You might have done some great things, but the true test of a man's character is what he does when no one is watching. You know, Covenant Eyes was watching, and you went around Covenant Eyes. So it's like, yeah, okay, these things might be true that are said in this letter, but like that has nothing to do with the fact that you did these horrible things too, and you need to be.
Ted Bundy was a nice guy to a lot of people.
Yep. It does not matter how nice you are. If you do awful things, you're going to get got.
Yeah, lots of outwardly nice people do really bad things.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's always surprising when people get caught doing bad things, because we never expect our friends and neighbors to be the bad people, but they are sometimes.
Yes, because people are awful, just all around.
Yeah, but in general, this whole case is hard for me because I'm like very anti-prison, you know. We both are.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, fuck, I don't want to put more people in the prison system, but Josh Duggar can be the last one out.
Yeah, if anyone deserves to be in prison, it's people like Josh Duggar. So I don't have that much of I don't have as much conflicting feelings as I do with other cases. But yeah, this one, it's just like, no.
Yeah, for the time being, let's just leave him in there for a while.
Yeah, like even if just to protect his own children and the kids he can come in contact with, like that's enough. That's worth it for me. So
yeah, fuck. Especially because we know that one of the things that happened in front of people, like had the girl sitting on his lap, like the baby child on his lap, like ew.
Yeah, like he's obviously like nothing is going to stop him. So yeah, except being in prison, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, on the plus side, prison internet is very monitored. So.
That is good. I doubt he'll be able to get past that like the way he got past Covenant Eyes. It's not quite the same.
Yeah, no, you're like not free, but your prison laptop or whatever like iPad thing that you get is very, very locked down. You do not have admin access.
Right. So then just I guess the reactions to it. There's been a couple of sibling statements. I think the only ones were Jason Duggar and Jill and Derek came out with a statement, and I read through them right before this, and none of them said anything like super. They were all just like, you know, we're thankful that the court system brought justice. We agree, blah blah blah. And thankfully, both of these statements like admitted that Josh did something wrong and weren't like, you know, still pretending that he didn't.
Yeah, I was not surprised with the Jill and Derek, obviously.
Right.
But I was lightly surprised that Jason said something publicly.
Yeah, because he still lives at the big house. So, but yeah, it was good to see that at least. Yeah, I don't know. At least not everyone in the family is like completely like, oh, Josh got robbed.
Oh,
it's
God.
like no.
Yeah, he was persecuted because he's Christian.
Yeah, no, he's just an awful person. So
he's being prosecuted because he's a pedophile.
Yes, a big difference in those two things.
Yeah, God. The only thing that I can think of, like, I wish he had gotten more than 12 years, but also 12 years is fine, because imagine where technology is going to be in 12 years. This dude's not going to be able to figure out how to get around the new fangled shit.
Yeah, 12 and a half years is a long time. Like, that was the beginning of 2010. I wasn't even graduated from high school yet 12 and a half years ago. So, like, I know.
I always forget.
I'm only 2 years younger than you, okay?
But I'm like, I was already like halfway through college in 2010.
I know. Yeah, I graduated in 2010, but that was forever ago. Like,
yeah, it was forever ago.
So much has changed in that time. So
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, Facebook used to ask what's on your mind, and you would say is blah 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 in 2010.
Exactly. Yeah, wow, what a time. And that was back when Twitter was still only 140 characters. Yeah,
back in the day.
The dark ages.
Yeah. Oh man.
All right, do you have anything else to say about Josh Duggar?
No, fuck Josh Duggar.
Fuck Josh Duggar. Yes, that should always be the ending remark in this case.
I wish that his lawyers, they'd be like, you have any closing remarks? And then the lawyers for the other side, fuck Josh Duggar.
Yeah, that would be perfect. Nothing more needs to be said.
Mic drop. Just knock over the whole stand or podium or whatever.
So we can move on a little bit. There's some other little things that have happened in our absence. Lots of new pregnancies, which we don't have to talk about because it's boring and I don't want to talk about it.
No.
So we'll talk about those later. One of the big stories of the month was at the beginning of this month. our very favorite Mr. Lawson Bates got married.
Mm-hmm. Got
You know how much we
married
love Lawson.
so much. We love Lawson so much, and we totally don't think this is like a weird sham marriage at all.
Not at all, no.
But they made a YouTube video of it since fucking Up TV kicked them off.
Sometimes when I'm feeling, I need a little something to think about to bring myself out of my darkness, I think about how upset Lawson must still be that his both his proposal and his wedding didn't make it onto Up TV.
God, and his proposal was even filmed and didn't.
I
even
know,
make it.
God.
That's even more. I don't know.
A
I want to
tease.
know so bad what the fuck happened. I
know.
need to like catfish someone at Up TV.
Yeah, I guess that's another big thing was we still have no idea why Bringing Up Bates was canceled with a full season like already ready to go and ready to be aired.
Like 2 weeks before air date.
Yeah, weird. I still need to know.
I know. I'm like, fucking Tennessee probably can't figure out any like court records or anything to figure out if someone's being charged with something.
Yeah. But so Lawson got married to Tiffany, and they got married in San Diego on a yacht.
Mm-hmm. Things I would not want to do for my wedding.
No.
Boat?
I do love San Diego. San Diego is an incredible place, and I've been there, and it's one of my favorite places to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would not get married on a boat. It's not my thing.
I feel like there's way too much of a chance of like your boat fucking up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm fine with boats on the regular, but I feel like packing a boat with like 300 people.
Yeah, you're just asking for trouble.
Going out, and you're the Bates, so you're not prepared. You don't have life jackets for everyone.
No way.
It's above fire code, obviously.
Mm-hmm. So we got to see tons of pictures from that, and one of the interesting things about Lawson's wedding is that it seems like all of the siblings were there except for one. Alyssa stayed back in Florida, which I can't blame her. She has 18 siblings, and flying to California is like not an easy thing to do, especially when you have little kids. So I do not blame her for not going, but I guess it's more shocking that she's the only one who did not go.
Yeah, because it's far for everybody.
Yeah, and I think it's particularly Carlin just had a fucking baby, which is another thing. Oh, we haven't talked about the baby name, which is Zayd Patrick.
Zayd.
Every
kiss begins with Zayd.
I'm not a fan, but I also think it's interesting that Tori has a Cade. It
they
seems
have a Cade, a Zayd, and I think Alyssa was trying to name one of her kids Zayd or something, or
she was trying to name him Zane. I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then there's gonna be a Zane, Zayd, Cade, Kane. No, they wouldn't name their kid Kane. They know that story.
They do. Well, I don't know, because remember that like TikTok I sent you about Michael's name where they like named her after like I don't even know. Anyway, yeah, so anyway, Carlin had baby Zayd just like a month maybe before Lawson's birthday wedding, which like I cannot imagine being a month postpartum and bringing a baby all the way across the country to a wedding. No thanks. Also, I don't know have you been keeping up with what's going on with Carlin?
No, I have not. I have not been watching Carlin lately.
So it's kind of scary. I don't really know what's going on, but she's having like some serious health issues right now where she keeps having these like episodes, and I think the doctors think they're seizures now, but she was like passing out. Like she could not be left alone because she would just like pass out. Yeah. And she's been to the emergency room like 10 times in the past month, and they just like have no idea what's going on, and it seems really fucking scary. So I think she needs to just like take a break and not go to people's weddings now.
Yeah, take a break. Maybe don't get COVID again, probably.
Yes, probably not.
Can't be helpful, even if that's not the problem initially. Yes. Not going to be great.
Well, yeah, I don't really know. And this could be completely wrong, but I'm assuming it has to do with something maybe postpartum that's like fucking her up, because like your body is completely changing all the time after you have a baby. So like all kinds of crazy shit can happen. So I'm wondering if it's related to that, or
they don't have great genetics when it comes to hereditary problems. Like they have the blood clotting issue in their family line, which can also fuck you up.
Yeah, and I think Alyssa also had some type of like postpartum heart issue.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's all kinds of stuff. And I mean that like not just with the Bates, like those are very common
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
It's very common to have a host of health issues after having a baby.
yeah,
But it's scary. I don't know. I feel bad for Carlin and Evan.
yeah,
It seems like because not only do they have to deal with that, but they have a newborn baby and a 2-year-old or whatever.
yeah.
So
Guess
it's
I'm
like
just glad they have lots of aunts and uncles and stuff to help.
yeah, that's true because God, yeah, it sounds scary as hell.
No, thanks. Yeah, no, I had seen a couple of videos where her toddler was talking about like, oh, mommy falls down or whatever,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but I
yeah.
hadn't kept up with what had been going on.
That's so scary. Like I can't imagine like not being able to be like left alone at all, like even for a second.
Uh-uh.
But I think that is about it for today. We just wanted to kind of come on, talk about some new things that have happened, especially just talk about the fact that Josh Duggar is in prison for 12 and a half years.
Oh, thank
And
goodness.
thank goodness.
And it's federal prison, so no conjugal visits, so no more babies for Josh Doug.
Oh, poor Anna's probably so upset that she had to stop at 7. Kendra's gonna outdo her. I think Kendra's one of the ones that is probably pregnant, but hasn't been fully confirmed. But pictures at a wedding basically confirmed that she's pregnant.
Yeah, which like you always feel bad. You're like, I don't want to say someone's pregnant when they may just be, having a tummy or whatever. But also, it's the Duggars.
Yeah,
They're pregnant all the time.
It's true. And in that case, it was very much a like, oh, she's all belly and she's, it doesn't take a genius to do the math there. Also, it's been like 6 months since her last one was born. So
that's way too long in between.
I know, right?
Way too long.
We, again, appreciate your guys' patience with us. We're really sorry about having to take that little break, but we are back and I'm so excited to be back.
Yes.
And we will be back to our normally scheduled shows about the Bates and, like I said, Plathville coming up this month, or I guess in June next month. Well, it's still May.
God, it's the 29th right now. Jesus.
I know. But if you have anything that you want to talk to us about, if you have any reaction to any of this news, or if you have anything that you want us to talk about in the future, you can give us an email at tvliterate@gmail.com.
And you can find us all over the internet on any social media service that you can think of at TV Literate, Reddit, Facebook, Instagram, etc. We're there. We'd love to hear from you. And we got all your messages while we were away. And we thank you so much for everybody being worried about us.
Yes, thank you. We appreciate you all so much.
Yeah. And we're glad to be back. We love you all and we missed you.
Yes, we missed you very much. And we will see you soon with another episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.